Failure rarely arrives loud. It shows up as an email, a silence, a number that doesn't move, and a body that suddenly feels heavy.
The first mistake is pretending it didn't hurt. If it stings, let it sting. Your brain is logging a lesson, not issuing a life sentence.
Your nervous system reads failure as danger.
You don't need a comeback plan tonight. You need a pause long enough to stop making the next decision from panic.
Look at the numbers once, not 50 times. Define the actual damage, then close the app.
Movement is the cheapest reset. 10 minutes outside tells your brain, we're still here, we're still moving, and this story isn't finished.
Name what happened in one sentence, not a novel. One sentence strips the drama and leaves you with facts you can work with. Before you fixed anything, write the timeline. When did it start going wrong? What changed? Clarity begins with sequence. Feedback is messy, but patterns are clean. Circle what repeats. 3 repeating notes are more valuable than 100 opinions.
The mind catastrophizes. It's over. Counter with a smaller truth.
Reset the environment. Light, air, order one corner. You're not cleaning to be productive. You're signaling control to a system that feels out of control.
Failure can shrink your world to a single point. Widen it intentionally. Walk through a different route, meet one friend, change one variable.
Stability starts with basics. When money feels tight, simplify. Fewer decisions, fewer surprises, more room to think.
Sort the wreckage. What can you change this week, and what can't you? Energy spent on can't is grief. Grief is real, but schedule it. Track your attempts like an athlete tracks training. A missed lift isn't proof you're weak. It's data on what to adjust. Do one hard thing that's small. The point isn't the stairs. The point is proving to yourself you can still initiate. Comeback begins as a sentence. Next action, next hour, next call. Not a grand plan, just a direction. Reward doesn't have to be big. Eat something warm, feel the steam, taste the present. Tomorrow, now the hard part, honesty without cruelty. A post-mortem isn't punishment. It's how you stop paying tuition for the same lesson twice.
When everything feels broken, do a normal task start to finish. Completion rebuilds trust in yourself.
Your brain will search for blame, yourself, others, the market. Skip the blame loop. Ask a better question.
Stabilize cash flow before you chase motivation. Stress shrinks creativity. A clear runway, even a short one, makes better decisions possible.
If you owe someone clarity, give it early. Short, factual, human. Repairing trust is part of bouncing.
Find the first domino. Most failures aren't sudden, they're slow drift. Identify the moment you stopped testing assumptions and started believing them. You can't outthink overwhelm. When your chest is tight, do the physical reset. Inhale 4.
Defensiveness is fear in a suit. Strip it out. Keep only what's true, what's useful, and what shows you're still accountable.
Perspective comes from distance. Step back far enough to see. This failure is one chapter. Your career is a shelf of books. Schedule the bounce back like work, not like a mood. If it's on the calendar, you don't need confidence. You only need to show up. Strength returns before certainty. Train the body and the mind follows. One session won't fix life, but it proves you can keep promises.
List your assumptions like liabilities. Which ones were untested? Which were borrowed from someone else's story?
Maintain the spiral. Give worry a container and a time limit. When the timer ends, you return to action, even if you still feel shaky.
Simply. Borrow models, not fantasies. Study case studies, postmortems, and failed launches.
Don't fix everything. Make 3 calls: a customer, a mentor, a teammate.
Turn your comeback into experiments. Hypothesis, test, metric. If you can't measure it, you can't learn from it, and you'll repeat the same crash.
Recovery requires quiet. Constant alerts keep you in emergency mode. Protect 1 hour a day where nothing can reach you. Rebuilding isn't only strategy, it's humanity. Small moments of normal life refill the tank. You're not wasting time, you're restoring capacity.
Prioritize like you're broke because you are, in time or money. The next move must be learning fast. Not ego, not applause, learning.
This is the pivot. Stop asking, why me? and start asking, what now? Control is the doorway back to momentum.
You don't need to feel fearless. You need to feel present. 5 minutes of stillness can interrupt the story that everything is collapsing.
Make your runway tangible. When survival is abstract, panic grows. When it's counted and planned, you can think like a builder again.
Clarity is kindness, to you and to customers. If you can't explain the value in one breath, you haven't found the core yet.
The comeback is not a leap. It's a chain of small tests. One test today is worth more than 10 plans in your head. Separate story from evidence. The story says you're doomed. Evidence says one approach failed. Evidence is actionable. Story is sticky.
Extract principles. What must be true for your next attempt to work? Write them as rules you can actually follow.
Focus is a recovery skill. After failure, you'll chase noise for certainty. Choose one thread, pull it, and accept the discomfort of not knowing everything.
Stop guessing. Users will tell you what matters if you ask well. Your job is to listen without defending your old idea.
Sometimes clarity comes from changing the tool. New surfaces, new markers, new cards. Small signals that the next...
A business is a system, not a vibe. Map the system. When you see the steps, you can spot where the leak really is.
Talk to someone who won't rescue you. You need a mirror, not a cheerleader. The right conversation turns shame into specific actions.
Design for follow-through. Put the next good habit where you'll trip over it. The environment can carry you when willpower is thin.
Your roadmap was a comfort blanket. Replace it with a loop. Build, ship, learn. That loop is the only antidote to uncertainty.
Confidence isn't a feeling you wait for. It's a log of kept promises. Start collecting small proofs again, one day at a time. Routine is not boring, it's stabilizing. When your world shakes, routine becomes scaffolding. Build it back before you build the company back.
Say the truth out loud. What happened, what it means, what's next. People can handle reality. They struggle with ambiguity.
End the day with a plan small enough to finish. Sleep is easier when tomorrow is defined. Recover is built in nights, not slogans.
This is the shift. Failure becomes information, not identity. When you treat it as data, execution returns when the day is small. One card, one outcome. You don't rebuild with heroic days, you rebuild with ordinary ones.
Listen for what repeats. If 5 people describe the same friction, that's not noise. That's a roadmap written in plain language.
Go where the problem lives. Real environments reveal constraints your spreadsheets can't. Time, interruptions.
Practice clarity like a skill. If you stumble, simplify. People don't buy complexity. They buy relief from a specific pain.
Protect runway with boring decisions. Every small cut buys time for learning. Time is the currency you spend to earn a better idea. Set a ship date, not a perfect date, a real one. Deadlines turn intention into behavior, and behavior is how momentum returns. Scope is where comebacks die. Pick the smallest version that proves value. Everything else is postponed, not abandoned, just not allowed to slow you down.
Borrow confidence from evidence, not from pep talks. Mentors can't do the work, but they can shorten your detours if you show them the truth.
Write for the customer's day, not your ego. If the headline doesn't name the pain and the outcome, rewrite until it does.
Transparency isn't just ethical, it's efficient. When everyone shares learning, you stop reliving the same mistakes in parallel.
Distribution is a skill, not an afterthought. If you can't get it in front of people, the product doesn't exist outside your head.
Rejection will return. Good. Each no is a rep. The goal is not to avoid rejection, it's to collect it until patterns appear.
Confusion is a gift. It tells you exactly where your message breaks. Fix the message before you blame the market.
Split your week. Build days and talk days. If you only build, you drift. If you only talk, you stall. Rhythm beats motivation. Small wins matter when you're recovering. A working build, a fixed bug, a shipped page. These are bricks in the new foundation.
What worked yesterday?
End each day with one line. What moved the needle? This keeps you honest about progress when emotions try to rewrite the scoreboard.
Every pitch is 3 parts: value, proof, ask. Keep it tight. When you're rebuilding, clarity is your credibility.
Execution doesn't erase failure. It outgrows it. When the days stack up, the crash becomes a reference point, not a destination. Surprises are signals. When reality contradicts your plan, don't rush past it. Pause and learn. That's how insight compounds. Physical momentum supports mental momentum. You're not running from failure, you're running toward the capacity to think clearly again.
Choose a single leading metric. Watch it daily. Progress feels real when it's visible, even if it's still small.
Use customers' words, not yours. Their language is pre-validated. When you borrow it, your message stops fighting gravity.
Adjust timelines without shame. Speed comes from accuracy, not optimism. Honest schedules protect trust, with others and yourself. Patterns repeat across industries. Study failures outside your lane. They'll reveal risks you're still blind to.
Order reduces cognitive load. When your tools are sorted, your decisions speed up. Clarity isn't just mental, it's physical.
Waiting is part of the process. Use it to observe, not to worry. Data arrives on its own schedule.
Objections aren't personal. They're instructions. Each one tells you what must be clarified or proven next.
Consistency beats intensity. When energy is predictable, work becomes predictable too. Stability is a growth strategy.
Track wins explicitly. Your brain remembers losses more vividly. Counterbalance it with evidence you're moving forward. Decisions get easier with practice. Each clear choice strengthens the muscle you lost during the crash. Follow-up is a skill of respect. Clear, brief, and timely beats clever. Reliability rebuilds reputation faster than promises.
Momentum shows up as checked boxes. Not all progress is dramatic, but it's cumulative. Keep stacking the quiet wins.
Plain often outperform clever. When you're unsure, choose clarity. It scales better than personality.
Protect progress. Backups, notes, versions. Losing work after failure hits harder than the first loss. Guard your recovery.
Shipping, physical or digital, it counts. Delivery completes the loop and turns effort into reality.
Failure changes you if you let it. Stronger filters, sharper questions, fewer illusions. This is growth, not damage. At some point, the weight lifts quietly. Not because you won, but because you learned how to carry uncertainty.
Lessons are portable. Results aren't. When you carry the lessons forward, no failure is wasted. It's converted.
Looking back, the break didn't end you. It slowed you down enough to notice what actually matters and what never did. Calm is the new signal of strength. When urgency fades, judgment improves. This is the state where better decisions are born.
Don't plan further because you fear failure less. You plan further because you trust your ability to adapt when plans break.
Resilience isn't loud. It looks like consistency on days no one is watching. That's where durability is built.
You don't erase the failure. You archive it. Accessible if needed, no longer running the system.
Long-term thinking returns gradually. First weeks, then months. Vision grows when execution proves you can handle today.
You stop narrating every step. Life feels normal again, and that's progress you couldn't measure on a dashboard.
Failure leaves rules behind. Personal ones. Quiet standards that guide you long after the pain fades.
Trust returns through behavior, not explanations. Each kept commitment repairs something you once thought was broken forever.
Perspective widens. The failure that once filled the frame now fits inside a larger landscape of attempts.
Self-respect rebuilds when your actions align with your values again. That alignment is harder to lose next time.
Waiting no longer feels like failure. It feels like transition, a neutral space between attempts.
Reflection turns experience into advantage. Without it, pain repeats. With it, pain compounds into wisdom. You notice others struggling now. Failure softened your edges and sharpened your empathy. That stays with you.
Starting again feels different, not naive, informed. You know the risks, and you choose to move anyway.
Confidence now comes from repetition, not hope. You've been here before, and you know how to respond.
Preparation replaces anxiety. You don't need certainty, you need readiness. The rest will reveal itself.
You move when it's time. Not early, not late. Timing improves when fear stops rushing you.
Failure becomes part of your foundation, invisible to others, essential to everything you build next. That's the skill you keep forever. You will fail again, and you already know how to stand back up.